Okay, Manny, we got some interesting things going on. Okay, and I appreciate you're diving in, man. You are diving in. Where do we start? Let's start with the drums, because it's always drums and vocals. Okay, so we have low pass filter. Actually kind of need some of that high end up there. Now we've got this boost in the low end and a cut in the high mid and a cut in high range. Then a gate, but the gate's not doing anything, right? Because it's so down here, the threshold is so low that the gate's always being triggered. So we can hear that, right? That's not the sound we want. Click on the look ahead, that'll take care of some of that. And there, it's always going to be open. You can play with the little and decide. And then if I back this off a little bit, it'll sound a little bit more natural. That's not too bad. Okay, then we got our compressor. Now, this is where we can dive in a little bit deeper. We're not really doing anything. We can go a little bit higher ratio, but 5:1's pretty good actually for a kick drum, but we're doing less than a dB. We're not doing anything. And what we want to do is look at this track, and you can see it's not too bad. We've got some lower parts here and some higher parts here. We're just trying to even that out. Now the snare track, look what we got here. This, these. We can see all sorts of different volumes. That's really going to come into play. So a faster attack, fast release, little peak limiter action. Okay. That's good for that. Okay. And that's a fine signal path. All right, let's go over to a snare. So we got snare top, snare bottom being bus to this track, and we've got probably don't need all this processing. So let's start here. We got high pass filters. Those okay? We got then another EQ. Now we're doing some pretty crazy EQing. So what I'm gonna do is the gate would come next. So then we'll gate the track. So let's do this track at a time. And what this stuff on the master is, we got to take this off because this is affecting anything, and that's going to totally change your mix. But we need to be able to hear the. We need to be able to hear the. Get that on there. We need to be able to hear the compressor, but you've got like 4 compressors all working. So once we do that, we'll be good to go. Okay. So, gate. Right, trying to find a place. Why isn't my gate? Man, this has been weird. What's going on? See, it was making sound and not making sound. So we want to set this someplace where this is triggering a little faster release, and I can just tell bop, 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 bop. That's the tempo of the song. We're getting close. I don't know why it's not. All right. That was weird. Okay, then we got a little EQ trying to round that out. Probably don't want to add all that hi-hat we just gated out, but there's some cool things in here. You can find out that's pretty awful sound. Good. Now again, not doing anything. Let's dive in a little bit deeper. Speed up the release. We want that bopping in place. Bop, 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 bop. So even at its fastest. There we go. And now what is this one doing? Now, this is where then we can put a limiter on this, a little faster, a little, and we're just gonna catch the top end of stuff. There we go. All right. Now I'm just catching the very, very top end of that stuff. So when we go to a part like, let's see what happens here. So you know, see it's missing, it didn't even get that hit. So we might, if we set it for just, there we go, now we're just getting the smallest hit and the biggest hit, so everything is going to be real even. Getting closer. Okay, so some of this processing is okay, and now we're a little bit more processing. We don't need a gate on top of a gate. We've already got two compressors going on, but one more compressor capturing these two snares. There we go. That sounded pretty cool. So you can use those plugins, but understanding what is each one doing and how are they working together. I've got a gate and a gate. Do I need a gate the gate? That doesn't make any sense. So to me, we can apply that just down the line. So, you know, that's a good start for the drums. We got that being sent to a reverb somewhere. Where is there? Bus 15. So we have 3 deverbs going on, probably one more than we need. What are they set to? Small plate. Small room, large room. Okay, we got some different sounds, but okay. So I hope that helps understand how you can use all those plugins, but if you're just, hopefully you're understanding what is each one doing and not making decisions just to make them. So cool, I hope that helps. What do I need to hit? I think it's